Hello my friends, William Poloniak here at Whole Health Foundation. Today I'm going to make some apple juice, pure apple juice out of Granny Smith apples. And I've cut them into 6 pieces per apple because they're so huge. Let's take a look at that. Now as you can see, I've cut most of them. And I'm going to cut these very, very huge apples into 6 pieces instead of quarters. If they were smaller, I'd cut them into quarters. And next I'm going to show you how to make apple juice. I want to point out again that I'm using the near zero blowback cutter that has over 80 teeth cut into the cutter. And if you notice, I'm using the front loading feed tube. So let's put the cutter on first. The pusher, and you'll notice I'm going to collect pulp in wide mouth ball jars. And you notice how easy that was to put the ball jar under, and that's because all Whole Health Foundation models come with the leg height kit. It raises the juicer up about another inch. Now with fruit, it's a good idea to go down only part way, because fruit is very, very liquid and would tend to spit out. Now fortunately, the front-loading feed tube will never, and I mean never, spit up to your ceiling, but it could come out 5 or 6 inches onto your apron. Now there's one full container. So as I remove this, I'm going to put another one out immediately in case anything drips out, and we'll continue. And one of the beautiful things about the front-loading feed tube is you can see in here, and even though I know from past experience everything is shred, I'm going to put a little bit of pulp in here and force anything through, like seeds or stems or anything that's not shred yet. And the next step is putting juice into the cloths, and I've kept these in the freezer, and while I was making juice they thawed out perfectly, so they're easy to take apart. Now with fruit juice I use a bamboo liner because fruit juice will stick to the cloth and clean up very poorly. It makes a cleanup nightmare. And what you want to do when you make juice is make it as easy as possible. So we'll unfold these cloths, put in a bamboo liner, and the first thing I'm going to do is remove the feed tube, the grid and the grid holder, and put the pulp in the feed tube into this first cloth. Now I'm going to leave this collection bowl under the cover in case anything drips down, because I know from here it's going to be a bit of a problem because I still have pulp in the feed tube. Now the beautiful thing about juicers that come from Whole Health Foundation is this cleaning brush comes with all juicers I sell, and if you don't clean the feed tube as I'm doing now, it'll get a buildup of calcium over time, and it'll look terrible, although it's not unhealthy, but it's best to have a clean feed tube. Now the cleaning brush also comes handy in loosening any pulp that's on the front of the juicer. And what I'm going to do is put a sponge down here and use a spray nozzle, and if you don't have a spray nozzle, use a damp cloth. Now reassemble. You could dry with a paper towel, but I don't. I'll let it air dry. Never leave the cutter on the juicer, always up top with the hole facing down. Now when making fruit juice, you always use a bamboo liner and approximately half a container of pulp. I'm going to use a spatula to get the rest of that pulp out of here because I don't want to waste any. After all, when you buy the produce, it costs quite a bit. Fold the bamboo liner over the apple pulp in both directions, and then fold the cloth over the bamboo in thirds as I'm doing here. And we're going to set this aside because we're doing 2 cloths full of pulp at one time. Another bamboo liner. Now again, I said half of a container of pulp. Fold the cloth over the bamboo into thirds, and then we'll press. 2 cloths at one time. Into the press, centered left to right, centered front to back, all the way back, back it off a little bit, turn on the machine. And as soon as I get traction, I'm going to advance that all the way. You can actually leave it up as long as you want on a whole hell foundation model because this bottom base plate is solid. You can leave it up all day if you wanted to. Now there we have droplets. Back it off. Put in 2 more cloths. Now I'm only using 2 cloths, so I don't do this as fast as when I'm using 6 cloths. You never throw away your pulp and your bamboo, especially when making fruit juice. So what you do is you open it up, put more pulp on top of the old pulp, and let's use the spatula again to get all of this pulp out of here. Fold the bamboo over in thirds, just like the cloths came packaged, and fold the cloth over the bamboo into thirds again. Set that aside. Open up the next cloth full of pulp, and again, you never throw away the pulp until, of course, the bamboo liner bursts too much. So we'll put half of this container in here. That's about right. Oh, that's a little too much. Let me take a spatula, or I mean a spoon, and put some in here. Fold the bamboo over in thirds, just as we did before, then fold the cloth over the bamboo full of pulp. And again, 2 cloths into the press. Now if I had 6 cloths, I would continue folding, but I don't. And all the way. And as soon as we get droplets, instead of a steady flow, we'll stop and fill more cloths. Now, again, unfold the bamboo liner. Here's the last of my pulp, approximately a half of a container. Let's get all of that out of here with a spatula. Again, fold the bamboo over as before in both directions. Now we'll make as tight a package as we can. Oh, let's do this. Let's put the other spent bamboo liner on top. And then we'll fold all of that into one package. It's going to be a thick package, but I think we'll be a little more efficient this way. And it is a big thick packet, of course. I should have done that in 2 packets. Into the press, centered left to right, centered front to back. Oh my God, that's a huge packet. All the way back, back it off a little bit. And as soon as I get traction, I'll advance that. But we have some juice in the folding container, so we'll put that in here. Now we can juice flow advance that all the way. Now I'm going to take this spent pulp and I'm going to form it into as tight a package as I can. Essentially a tight ball like I'm doing here. And using my special folding technique where I fold the cloths at the edge under as many times as I can, as you can see, and in both directions, as tight as I can make it. Now let's put that in the press. Now there we have almost 3 ounces of juice. That's about 7% more juice. Now let's put these into bottles. Now as you can see, I have 3.5 bottles of juice and enough for a taste test. Now I'm going to leave this half bottle to add some water because I want to taste full strength and 50% apple juice. So let's cap these off. Now remember, one of your last steps is to clean the pulp off of the cloths, put them in the press, and press the water out because you're putting them in the freezer and you'll never get your cloths apart if you don't press the water out. Droplets, so we'll put that in the freezer. Now for a taste test, my friends. Full strength Granny Smith apple juice. That is sweet and delicious, but for me a little too strong. So what I'm going to do now is taste the apple juice 50% with water. Now this one, as I said, is 50% water. (50% water, 50% apple juice). Oh, a very refreshing drink. Not as sweet as full strength. Well, you'll have to make up your own mind whether you want straight apple juice or mix it with 20%, 30%, or even 50% water. I hope you like what you've seen, my friends, and if you do, please tell a friend. If you'd like to call me, my phone number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. I'll see you in the next video.